It's time for Tubi Tuesday. Welcome to Tubi Tuesday. Yes, there is a change. I was gonna do some Italian horror, but after the last one, oddly, so after I did Suspiria, oddly enough, I didn't have an itch to watch anymore. So I decided we're gonna start the Wishmaster franchise. I won't be doing it for all the Tubi Tuesdays. Obviously, I'm doing it this one, and I'm gonna try to do the other three at some point because I haven't. Well, if you're watching my channel, you already know what's going on this week. If I have done something, if I've changed my mind, which I might, I'm not gonna say what it is, just in case I do change my mind. But then you're sitting there going, "What is he talking about?" But anyway, we got Wishmaster, released in 1997, produced, not directed, by Wes Craven. It's directed by Robert Kurtzman. This film features a lot of horror veterans in this. The beginning of this is narrated by Angus Scrimm, who's famous for playing the tall man in Phantasm films, as well as a later appearance from Reggie Bannister, who was also in the Phantasm movies as Reggie, Kane Hodder, Ted Raimi, Joe Pilato, Robert Englund. They all make appearances in this film. Tony Todd, forgot about him. So they all make appearances in this film. So it's a very well done film sometimes. It's clear that Wes Craven didn't do much consulting on this film because there are some things that aren't done that well. One of the worst things you can do in your horror films is have jump scares that are fake out jump scares. Like there are a couple in this film where she gets scared by nothing. Like there's a lady with the mask on. She's like, "Oh, I just wanted to show her my mask." I'm like, my costume. I'm like, what? That makes no sense. There's a couple of jump scares that are like that. The effects are hit and miss. Such as at the beginning of this film, there's what I can only describe as a murder orgy in the old Arabian times, where it's like a murder orgy party. People are dying, and there's a great practical effect where this guy's skeleton rips out from his body, and it's fantastic. And then when it jumps up, because they have to move it, they decide to add some CGI to it, and it doesn't look very well. I mean, it's not the worst caliber CGI, but it still doesn't look very well. So yeah, the story is that in ancient Arabian times, this jinn grants a wish to, at this point he's granted 2 wishes. If he grants 3 wishes, all his jinn people can, be released and the world will go to hell. The sorcerer traps the jinn in an opal. And we flash to America, present day. God, I hate that. I hate it when I do movies and they say present day, because that's automatically going to date your film. Because if you say America 1997 or 96, that would work. But to say present day, you're watching this in 2021 like I am, that's not present day. Anyway, there's this guy, Beaumont, played by Robert Englund, and he's getting a statue delivered, and there's this guy, he's drunk off his ass, he's played by Joe Pilato, and he's moving the thing, and Ted Raimi is like, "Hey, dumbass," and then he gets the crate dropped on him and the statue breaks. This guy, one of the construction worker guys, finds the opal, sells it to a pawn shop for a couple $100. The guy from the pawn shop then shows up at the appraisal office to get it appraised. And this is where we meet our main character, Alex. And she goes to her friend, Josh. Now they hint that they have some kind of romantic relationship, but I feel like this whole thing with Josh doesn't work. Because, he says that he wants to go out with her, and she's like, "Well, I'm not ready for that," or whatever. And then he dies, and there's no progression towards this relationship throughout the film. He's dead, and then we move on to other parts of the story. The Jinn, because she has it. She goes, ah, ah. It's not how you're supposed to summon a Jinn. You're supposed to rub it, right? She goes, ah, ah, ah. And that frees him. And of course, Josh has it. And his wish is, because he's in great pain, stop the pain. So he kills him after giving him great pain instead of stopping it. But, So now he's on a journey to find the person who woke him. Because the person who woke him is granted 3 wishes. He can free all his Jinn people. So he goes on a journey collecting souls. And at first I'm sitting here going, why is he going through all the trouble asking random people for wishes when they're not going to do anything for him? And I found out, they reveal later, that these random wishes charge up him or something, so that when he can get to her and grant the 3 wishes, then he can do it, I guess. I don't know. But he ends up walking through Kane Hodder because they're like, see, you try to get through me, which technically that shouldn't have worked because everyone gets 1 wish except for the person who, is true master, right? So Kane Hodder says he wants him to turn around and leave. And as he's walking away, he goes, of course you'd have to get through me, and I'd love to see that. So he turns around and he goes, granted. And he, literally walks right through him. And I'm just like, no, that doesn't work, because you've already granted his wish of turning around and walking away. You can't then break your own rules just so you can, as a means to an end. You can't do that. For all intents and purposes, he should have walked away and found another way to get into the building. But they want to have the joke, yeah, walk away, turn around and walk away, because, they gotta have, maybe they thought, we need some common sense, right? Obviously, with common sense, they would just tell him to turn and go away. So that's what he does. But then he makes the comment, I like to see you go through me, and it's like, okay, but in the context of you only get 1 wish, that doesn't make any sense. So she starts seeing this psychiatrist lady, or not psychiatrist, but she's a master of ancient arts or something. Professor of ancient arts or something. And then when she goes to see her one time, she's always trying to help her, and it's revealed that it's the Jinn, and so somehow her body ends up on the couch they were sitting on, which was she invisible the whole time? I don't understand that, but yeah, so she makes her first wish, well, technically her first wish, which is for him to blow his brains out, which doesn't work because plot armor. Because that's the most obvious wish you would make is, leave me alone. And so her first actual wish is, I want to know what you are. So, because we gotta have an exposition dump, we find out what he was and where he came from. All that stuff. And, I hate that I keep yawning in these videos. I shouldn't. It's the morning. It's 12:13 in the afternoon, and I'm yawning. Why? I don't know. Anyway, then her second wish is to escape from, because she's inside the Opal when he's telling the story, so she escapes back to her apartment. Problem is, he says he's going to go after her sisters. Why doesn't she wish I was back in my apartment with my sister? But no. She runs around and her sister ends up dead. And Robert Englund wishes for one of those parties. So we get another, wild part like at the beginning of this. And then she makes her final wish. She wishes that the drunk guy was never drunk that day. Out of all the ways to reverse the wish, that is kind of a weird one. I don't know. What other wishes can you make? I wish the statue was lost at sea. I wish that that guy never sold it to the pawn shop. I wish that the gem broke when the statue fell. I wish that you were never freed from the jewel. I wish that, various wishes. But, like, of all the things, every time someone makes a wish, he turns it on him. And so, I just feel like him granting this wish and it working out, like, even when I watched Dagger Shadow's review of it, he had a point. Like, oh, I wish he wasn't drunk that day. Okay, he had a heart attack and dropped it anyway, or something like that. Or he was high on cocaine, or something like that, you know? I mean, saying he wasn't drunk, he could still have dropped it. Even if he wasn't drinking that day. I'm just saying. But no. And so everything is reversed. But somehow, she still remembers everything because she hits on Josh right away. Okay. And the movie ends. And my video. Yeah, so I really don't know how I feel about the ending, because it's the wish itself. I feel like he would want to protect himself in this, like the whole shooting he can't die thing. So maybe there should be you think there would be a protection thing in there, a quid pro quo, where you can't reverse the summoning, you know? Like, I was summoned and you can't reverse that, you know? But, you know, I don't know. This came out in 1994, 1997, my bad. 1997, which was after Aladdin, which was Disney-fied genies. But, Andrew Divoff has a good performance, although there's a lot of when he's the human Nathan something. But yeah, I thought it was okay. I found it very schlocky, and there was often moments that I rolled my eyes, like the out of nowhere jump scares that don't matter, you know, like the fake out jump scares of the lady with the mask. And it's just, I'm like, if Wes Craven is producing this, I think he needs to have a bigger hand in it. He knows that those kind of jump scares don't work. Why is he letting this guy do it? I mean, it's stupid. It's just stupid. But as it is, I'm giving this movie a 6 out of 10. I enjoyed it for what it was. It's not a fantastic movie, but it's, you know, it's enjoyable, I think. So, what are your thoughts on the Wishmaster? In the comments below, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.